Assalamu alaikum and good morning, students. So, today, let us see in this live session grade 9, uh, revision of grade 9, chapter quadrilaterals. Is it fine? Yesterday, I have given the worksheet. Okay, let us see the worksheet. And everybody, meanwhile, open the worksheet which I have given you already. I have given you, right? Give me 1 second. Let me share this in the group so that others can also join. Give me only 1 minute, okay? Until then, you please open your textbooks and also yeah. Yes, thank you for your patience. And now let us see what are the concepts. Let us see the concepts of quadrilaterals. And I hope I am audible. And if you are facing any difficulties, please let me know in the message. Okay, you can message to me directly, and I can see you. I can see your messages, and I hope you know my phone number, right? So if you have any doubt in quadrilaterals, you can send me. I will. You can send me the doubt, and I have my WhatsApp open here, so I can explain you. I can read out the problem and explain you. I think one joined in the session. Can you please let me know? Am I audible or not? You can message me. Am I audible or not? Please let me know. Okay. And now let me go for the explanation. Is anybody there? Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, madam. And let me explain the concepts of quadrilaterals. Yeah. So when we So what are the concepts we covered in quadrilaterals, grade 9 quadrilaterals? We have covered mainly properties of parallelograms, right? Properties of parallelograms. Mainly we focused on properties of parallelograms. Now, before going to properties of parallelograms, let me explain you the types of quadrilaterals. So what are the types of quadrilaterals? And we all know that quadrilaterals are quadrilaterals are closed figures with four sides, right? And okay, now what are the types of quadrilaterals? What is the first type? Quadrilateral itself is a four-sided figure, and now the quadrilateral with a special feature. The first one is kite. So it is kite. So what do you say about kite? So the kite is a quadrilateral with adjacent sides being equal. Adjacent sides being equal. Okay, adjacent sides. And now the diagonals bisect perpendicularly. So these are the special features of kite, right? So the next one after that, what is the next one? So the next one is trapezium. So the next one is trapezium. So then what is a trapezium? trapezium is a quadrilateral in which you have only one pair of parallel sides. So it can be like this. Okay, now join these ends. This is trapezium. Trapezium can also be like this. These two are parallel and join this, or it can be even like this. Okay, these are all trapeziums. Understood? Kite and trapezium. So, what is the special feature of trapezium? Trapezium has one pair of parallel sides. One pair of parallel sides. Okay, now can you please answer me? Please answer me, because if it is to and fro, give and take, then the session will be beneficial for you. So now let me know, if you have so trapezium has one pair of parallel sides, right? So if you have two pairs of parallel sides, for example, so these two sides are parallel and also these two sides are parallel. Now tell me, will you call this trapezium or not? Will you call this a trapezium? Yes, we call it as a trapezium, because what is the condition of a trapezium? The condition of a trapezium is you should have one pair of parallel sides. Okay, so now do you have here one pair of parallel sides? Yes, we have. So therefore, this is also a trapezium. Understood, my dear students? Good. Now, let us see. So trapezium has one pair of parallel sides. So now after this, from trapezium, you can take it to the next type of quadrilateral, which is called as parallelogram. So what is parallelogram? As the name suggests, it is a quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides. With two pairs of parallel sides. This is called as parallelogram. Okay. Properties of parallelogram I will discuss later after 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. From parallelograms, which other quadrilateral can be deduced? Okay. From this parallelogram, see, only one property I'll explain you here. If the opposite sides are equal, okay, in parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. Understood or not? So, now if I change this condition and make all sides equal, so the opposite sides are, anyways, they are parallel, but here, if I make all sides equal, then this is called as rhombus. Understood? What is the difference between a parallelogram and a rhombus? In parallelogram, only opposite sides are equal. Okay, only opposite sides are equal. And if this parallelogram, if I add a condition that all sides are equal, so then it becomes a rhombus. Okay, now if I add one special quality or one special condition to the parallelogram, that means if I make the angles of the parallelogram, the angles between the adjacent sides 90 degrees, and other conditions are the same. Opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are equal. So then this will become a rectangle. Then this we call this as rectangle. Understood? So parallelogram, if I add the condition that all sides are equal, so then it is a rhombus. So when I add a special condition that the angle between adjacent sides is 90 degrees, then it is a rectangle. Now, if I join, if I combine the properties of rhombus and rectangle, so what is the property of rhombus? All sides are equal and opposite sides are parallel. And what is the property, special property of rectangle? The angle between the adjacent sides is 90 degrees. So if I add these two properties, then it becomes a square. So then it becomes a square. What is square? All sides are equal and the angle between adjacent sides is 90 degrees. So it becomes a square. Do you understand? So these are the types of quadrilaterals. So quadrilateral is a four-sided polygon. And after that, what are the types of quadrilaterals? With special features, if you have adjacent sides equal, so then it is a kite. Okay? And now with the special condition that opposite only one pair of sides are parallel. So then it is a trapezium. And from this trapezium, if I add one more property that two pairs of opposite sides are parallel, then it is called as parallelogram. And from parallelogram, it can be rhombus. How? If you add the property that all sides are equal, then it is a rhombus. Okay. Now to this parallelogram, if I add a special property or a condition that the angle between adjacent sides is 90 degrees, then it is a rectangle. And to this rectangle, if I add the properties or the conditions of rhombus and rectangle and make it into one. So what are the conditions of rhombus? All sides are equal. Understood? And what is the property of rectangle? That the angle between adjacent sides are 90 degrees. If I add these two, it will be a square. So types of parallelogram. What is a parallelogram? Rhombus, rectangle and square. Here, one thing is very important. So in exams like ASET or competitive examinations, this they will ask you, is parallelogram or can a parallelogram be square? Okay, or sorry, can a parallelogram be square? Yes, it can be. But if they ask you that all parallelograms are squares, wrong. Because only when the condition that the angle between the adjacent sides is 90 degrees and all sides are equal, then only that particular parallelogram can be square. So, all parallelograms cannot be squares. All parallelogram cannot be rhombus. All parallelogram cannot be rectangle. This is very, very important. Okay. But one thing can happen. All squares, can they be called as parallelogram? Yes, sir. They can be called. Okay. Why? Because parallelogram, you have only one condition. What is that condition? Opposite sides should be parallel and equal. So in square, opposite sides, are they equal? Here also opposite sides equal. So and parallel. Therefore, all squares can be a parallelogram. In the same way, all rhombus can be a parallelogram. All rectangles can be parallelogram. Understood or not? But not vice versa. From upside down, it cannot be. But from bottom to up, yes, if you go in the reverse direction, all squares can be parallelograms, all rhombus can be parallelograms, all rectangles also can be parallelograms. Understood, my dear students? So this is very, very important. They may ask you for MCQs, not only in this examinations, in school examinations, internal examinations, but also they will ask you in competitive examinations like ASET, IBTs, international benchmarking tests. Understood? These concepts will be used. Okay. What to remember? From bottom to top, yes, reverse order, everything is true. But from top to bottom, it is not true. Okay. All parallelograms cannot be squares. All rhombus cannot be squares. All rectangles cannot be squares. But all squares can be rhombus. All squares you can call it as rectangle. All squares you can call it as parallelogram. Because they are satisfied, the conditions are satisfied. Understood? I hope you understood everything. So last one half a minute to revise. Kite adjacent sides are equal. Only two pairs of adjacent sides. These two are also adjacent, but they are not equal. Okay. So for kite, what is the condition? Two pairs of adjacent sides are equal. And one more thing, diagonals bisect at right angles. Okay. Now trapezium, one pair of sides are parallel, which is a quadrilateral which contain one pair of parallel sides is called as trapezium. Okay. And now one pair of parallel sides, trapezium. And if it contains two pairs of parallel sides, it is parallelogram. And parallelogram, if I add one condition that all sides are equal, then it will be a rhombus. And if I add a condition, the angle between the adjacent side is 90 degrees, it becomes a rectangle. And if I combine the conditions of rhombus and rectangle, it becomes a square. All sides are equal, and the angle between the adjacent sides is 90 degrees. Got it? Good. So what is the next thing we have discussed? Now, let us go to, this is about quadrilaterals. So if you want to copy, pause this video, and once it gets uploaded, pause the video, and wherever you need, you copy it. Okay. Now let us see the properties of parallelogram. Properties of parallelograms. Okay. Now, my dear students, when I say what is the definition of a parallelogram, how will you define a parallelogram? Parallelogram is defined as if a quadrilateral has two pairs of parallel sides, then it is called as a parallelogram. Okay. So let us see. So what is the definition of a parallelogram? Two pairs of parallel sides. If you have two pairs of parallel sides, then you call it as a parallelogram. That means, for example, okay, two pairs of opposite sides. Now, so these two are parallel, and here these two are parallel. Understood? It is a parallelogram. Now, A, B, C, and D. So AB is parallel to CD, and AD is parallel to CB. So this is a parallelogram. Okay. Now let us see the properties of parallelogram. The first property is opposite sides are. Can anybody tell me opposite sides are what? You can message me. Opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are equal. Okay, please message me, please. And if you have any problem in messaging, I think I have made it slow, right? Give me 1 second. I will change the settings. Yeah. I have changed the settings now. You can message me. There is no problem. There is no need of time. So you can message me the answers. I'm watching your chats, and please message me so that I can understand whether you are able to understand the concepts or not. And yes. Now opposite sides are equal. So that means what? AB is equal to CD. AB is equal to CD, and the same way AD is equal to CB. Understood, my dear students? Good. So opposite sides are equal. That means this side is equal to this side and this one is equal to this one. Now, what is the second one? Sides are over. Okay, there is no other property related to sides. Now let us go to angles. So what do you say about angles? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody message me? What do you say about opposite angles? Yes, opposite angles. Okay, opposite angles are good. Opposite angles are equal. Okay, so what are opposite angles? If I take angle B is equal to angle D. Okay, and what about angle A? Angle A is equal to fast. Very good. B is equal to D. Good. Angle A is equal to good. Angle A is equal to angle C. Mashallah, good. Okay. See, this is very important concept. This is also an important concept, and this is also an important concept because problems based on this will come. Okay. So opposite angles are equal. Good. So now let us go to the third one. So about angles, opposite angles are equal. Now, what is the next property? It is about adjacent angles. Can anybody tell me what do you say about adjacent angles? What do you say about adjacent angles? Adjacent angles, no, please don't use Google or ChatGPT or anything. Okay, try to recall what your teachers have taught you. So, very good. So, adjacent angles are supplementary. Adjacent angles are supplementary. That means what? If I add angle A and angle D, it will be 180 degrees. If I add angle D and angle C, 180 degrees. And if I add angle B and angle C, 180 degrees. Angle A and angle B, it is 180 degrees. So adjacent angles are supplementary. And now the last one. And what are the parts left out? Sides are over and angles are over, right? So what is the next property? Can anybody tell me what are the parts left out? One part is left out. Can anybody tell me? Diagonals, very good. So the diagonals, when we talk about diagonals, now is BD equal to AC? Are these two diagonals equal? See, we can say by using common sense. See, B and D, it looks longer, and A and C, it could look shorter. So, are diagonals equal? No. Diagonals are not equal in parallelograms. But the diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other. Bisect means what? That means each other means what? So diagonal AC bisects diagonal BD. It makes into two equal parts. And diagonal BD bisects diagonal AC. So that means AP is equal to CP, DP is equal to BP. Understood? So diagonals bisect each other. Understood? That means what? AP is equal to CP and DP is equal to BP. So these are the properties. What are the properties of parallelogram? Opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, adjacent angles are supplementary, diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other, but they won't, they are not equal. Okay? And I'll come back within 1 minute because the charging is very less. I'll get the extension and I'll come back within 1 minute. If I end stream, I have to make a new link. So please take rest and I'll be back within 5 minutes. I'm back. I am back. Okay. Okay, good. So, yes, everything is fine. Alhamdulillah. Please send a message to your friends, whoever is joined. And I forgot to send this link in our unofficial groups. If anybody have the access, can you please send the link so that others can join? I don't know whether everybody is there in the group or not in our grade 9 maths. So please try to send. Good. Sabi, are you there? Okay, fine. Good. Shall I continue? So, properties of parallelograms. We have seen that opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, and adjacent angles are supplementary. These are adjacent angles, these are supplementary. And what else we have seen? Diagonals bisect each other. Yes, Savi, Assalamu alaikum. So these are the properties of parallelogram. See, my dear student, I may be taking one more half an hour. One more half an hour. If you listen to these properties carefully, inshallah, I believe that you will get 100% in the quadrilaterals chapter. Okay. So the same way I'll be taking for what is that called as for all other chapters also. But first, whenever I give you a worksheet, please do the worksheet, okay, by yourself, and then wait for my explanation. Got it, my dear students? Good. Yeah, stop that reactions here. Yeah, okay. You love me. I know that. Please focus. Acha, I'm speaking. That's why you are doing it. Okay, now once I start explanation, please listen, my dear friends. Yeah, I love you. I love you. Okay, fine, good. So what we have seen the types of quadrilaterals and also properties of parallelograms. So let me briefly explain within 3-4 minutes. So what is the difference between a parallelogram and, so let me write a parallelogram. So this is parallelogram, right? This is parallelogram. So what are the properties of parallelogram? Opposite sides are equal. And what about opposite angles? Opposite angles are also equal. And what about adjacent angles? Adjacent angles are supplementary. Okay. And diagonals not equal. And diagonals bisect. Yes, they bisect. Okay. And diagonals bisect. Assalamualaikum. And the last one is perpendicularly. Okay, I am talking about perpendicularly. So it is a big no. Understood? Yes, sir. 9:45 में है ना 9:45 में है ना सर जी जी 9:45 इंशाल्लाह So these are about parallelogram. Okay. Now, what is the next parallelogram which we have studied? Rhombus. So what do you say about rhombus? Opposite sides equal, opposite angles equal, or adjacent angles supplementary, and diagonals. What do you say about diagonals? They are not equal. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. And they bisect. Yes, they bisect. And they are perpendicular bisectors. Yes, they are perpendicular bisectors. I'll tell you the difference. It is very easy to understand. And now, the next one is rectangle. So for rectangle, opposite sides, yes, equal. Opposite angles, equal. Adjacent angles, supplementary, yes, they are supplementary. Diagonals, in rectangle, they are equal. And do they bisect? Yes, they bisect. And they are perpendicular? No, they are not perpendicular. See, there it is very easy to remember these things. I'll explain you. Okay. Now let us go for square. Okay, let us go for square. Yes, opposite sides equal. Opposite angles also equal. Adjacent angles supplementary. Yes. And diagonals, they are equal. They bisect. Yes, they bisect. And perpendicular. Yes, they are perpendicular. Understood or not? I'll explain you. Maybe I'm turning towards the board, therefore my voice is breaking. I hope it is okay now. Is it right? Now, see, there are two important points to understand here. Sir, diagonals are not equal. So, can you tell me when they are equal and when they are not equal? So, the diagonals are not equal in parallelogram and rhombus, but they are equal in rectangle and square. So what is the special property in rectangle and square? The special property is that the angle between the adjacent sides is 90 degrees. So that means whenever you have sides 90 degrees, the diagonals are equal. Understood? And in rhombus and parallelogram, they are not 90 degrees, therefore they are not equal. And all types of parallelograms, yes, they bisect. But here they are perpendicular bisectors. They are perpendicular bisectors in these two cases. Can you tell me what is the speciality in rhombus and square? Yes, my dear. I can see your answers. Rhombus and square. What is the property which is special with rhombus and square? They diagonals bisect perpendicularly in rhombus and square. Can you tell me what is the special property? The special property is that in rhombus and a square, they are perpendicular bisectors. But why? How to remember it? Okay, they are perpendicular bisectors. What the special property of rhombus and square is, all sides are equal, not 90 degrees. All sides are equal. In rhombus and square, all sides are equal. So therefore, they in these two types of parallelograms, the diagonals are like this, perpendicular. Okay, the diagonals are perpendicular. So that means if diagonals are perpendicular, can you call it as a parallelogram? I need answer for this. Whoever are present here. Come on. If diagonals bisect perpendicularly, can they be called as parallelograms? Fast students, can they be called as parallelograms? If diagonals bisect perpendicularly. Yes, because rhombus is a parallelogram, square is a parallelogram. So if anybody gives you in a problem, in a parallelogram PQRS, the diagonals bisect 90 degrees. Sorry, The angle between diagonals is 90 degrees. Yes or no? Yes. But the parallelogram, in the actual parallelogram, the angles are not perpendicular, but there can be some parallelograms where the angle between diagonals can be 90 degrees. Understood? If in any problem, if it comes that in a parallelogram PQRS, the angle between diagonals is 90 degrees, then you don't say that no sir, it cannot be parallelogram. No, it can be a parallelogram. Okay, because rhombus and square are parallelograms. I hope this is clear. Okay, just check this. You try to draw it by your own. The concept, you will remember the concept. Okay, you can take a picture if you want, or you can go back to the video whenever I upload this, and then you can pause and write it out. So, shall I? Now let us go to our worksheet. Anything left out? No, nothing is left out. So let us go to the worksheet. Check the worksheet. Take out the worksheets. Yeah. What is the first question? What is the first question, my dear students? The first question in the worksheet is, which of the following is always a parallelogram? Which of the following is always a parallelogram? Square, trapezium, kite, rhombus. So tell me, in this square, trapezium, kite and rhombus, which is always a parallelogram? I need answers. Whoever is there, make it fast. Which of the following? Okay, options I'll write. Square, trapezium and kite, rhombus. The question is which of the following is always a parallelogram? Always a parallelogram. I got only one answer. Make it fast, my dear students. Okay, just now we have seen. Okay, see, let us take it out which are not. Is kite a parallelogram? No. Okay, is trapezium a parallelogram? No. So now is rhombus a parallelogram? Yes sir, it is always. And is square a parallelogram? Yes sir, always. Square is a parallelogram, rhombus is a parallelogram, rectangle is also a parallelogram. Understood, my dear students? Okay, all squares and rhombus are always parallelograms. Good. Now, yes. Two answers. Okay. Now, which of the following is not a parallelogram? Now, can you tell me? It is simple. Which is not a parallelogram? The options are square, trapezium, rhombus, and parallelogram. Which is not a parallelogram? Yes, my dear students, which is not a parallelogram? Can anybody answers, please? So answers, please. Which is not a parallelogram? Square, trapezium, rhombus, parallelogram. Good. I got answers. Good. Yes. Trapezium is not a parallelogram. Rhombus is a parallelogram, my dear friend. Rhombus is a parallelogram. I am telling you. One more time, let me clear you. Under parallelograms, the first one comes is rhombus. The next one rectangle. The next one is square. So rhombus, rectangle and square are parallelograms. So only which is not a parallelogram is in the given options, it is trapezium. Good. Now the third question. A quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides. Exactly. What is the parallelogram which has exactly one pair of parallel sides? One pair of parallel sides. Come on. One pair of parallel sides. Good. So a quadrilateral with exactly one pair. See, if he does not say exactly, then if he says a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel sides, you can tell trapezium, you can say parallelogram, you can say rhombus, you can say rectangle, square. But he said exactly one pair. So the quadrilateral which is having exactly one pair is what? Trapezium. Good. Now, fourth question. A quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides. A quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides. The options are parallelogram, trapezium, rhombus, and rectangle. Can you please tell me in these four options which a quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides? I got two answers, waiting for the others to answer. A quadrilateral with two pairs. Baba, Sufyan, just now we have seen, that yes, parallelogram has two pairs of parallel sides. What about rhombus? What about rhombus? Doesn't rhombus does not have two parallel sides, two pairs of parallel sides? And what about square? What about rectangle? Yes, very good. Rhombus and rectangle also. So, what are the quadrilaterals having two pairs of parallel sides? Parallelogram, rhombus, and rectangle. Is it clear? I hope you understood, right? So, all parallelograms have two pairs of parallel sides. That means parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, and square. I hope it is clear now. Okay. Now, in a parallelogram A, B, C, D, okay, see, one very important thing. One very important thing is that whenever they start giving you the problem, try to draw the diagram. It helps you a lot. Okay, it helps you a lot. So, in a parallelogram ABCD, so come on, draw a parallelogram ABCD. So this is A, B, C and D. In a parallelogram ABCD, if angle A is equal to 60 degrees, if angle A is equal to 60 degrees, so what is C? What is C? Can anybody tell me? If angle A is equal to 60 degrees, if angle A is equal to 60 degrees, so what is angle C? Yes, good. What is the concept over here? Opposite angles are equal. Opposite angles are equal. So therefore angle A and angle C. So therefore angle C is equal to 60 degrees. Now can I add you one more thing? Can you please tell me what is angle D? Angle D is equal to how much? Angle D कितना है? एंगल डी कितना है? एंगल डी, shall I remind you a concept? So angle A and angle D are adjacent angles. And what is the property of adjacent angles? No beta, no. My dear friend, 70 is not the answer. No need to delete. Astaghfirullah. No need to delete or retract here. Nothing happens, we are learning. Okay, so these are adjacent angles. Can anybody tell me what is the property of adjacent angles? What is the property of adjacent angles? Property of adjacent angles. Okay, it's okay, beta. Property of adjacent angles. Here, adjacent angles in a parallelogram are supplementary. They are supplementary. So supplementary means what? Angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degrees. So what is angle A? Angle A we got 60 plus angle D is equal to 180. Now you have to find angle D. Therefore transpose 60. Angle D is equal to, what is the sign before 60? Plus. So when you transpose it becomes minus. So that is equal to 120 degrees. Did you understand, my dear students? Very, very important. Questions based on this will come. Okay. Is it clear? Shall I repeat? So what are the opposite angles are equal and opposite adjacent angles are supplementary. Good. Next. The next question is the sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral is. What is the sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral? Interior angles of a quadrilateral. Why are you so worried, my dear friends? See, quadrilateral is a four-sided figure, right? It is a four-sided figure. So if you add all the interior angles, what is the sum? Sum of interior angles is equal to 360 degrees. Question based on this concept also will be asked. So how it can come? I don't know whether I have given in worksheet or not. There is a question. 13th question is based on this. So understood, my dear? Okay. So let us see. It is 360 degrees. Now, section B. I want answers. Everybody, whoever are the participants, please try to give me answers. A square is always a parallelogram. True or false? A square is always a parallelogram. True or false? Answers, please. Answers, please. I got one answer. I have so many people watching this. Please try to give me answer. Yes, good. Abid Zaman, mashallah, good to see you here. Good to see you. Yes, a square is always a parallelogram. A square is always a parallelogram. Okay, is rectangle always a parallelogram? Rectangle always a parallelogram? Answers, please. Yes, rectangle is always a parallelogram. And what about rhombus? Rhombus is also a parallelogram. Okay. Now, let us go to the 7th question given in the worksheet. In a parallelogram, adjacent angles are equal. In a parallelogram, adjacent angles are. If you do not understand the question, draw it. This is parallelogram. What do you call as adjacent? The angles which are side by side. These two are adjacent angles. So are adjacent angles equal in a parallelogram? Are adjacent angles are equal in a parallelogram? True or false? Which angles are equal, my dear students? Adjacent angles are equal? No. Only opposite angles are equal. So adjacent angles are what? Actually, they are supplementary. So what is the meaning of supplementary? If you add two angles, it will be 180 degrees. Understood? So therefore, adjacent angles, are they equal in parallelogram? No. In some of the conditions of parallelogram, they are equal. For example, rectangle and square. Rectangle and square, they are equal, 90 and 90. But not in rhombus and parallelogram. Okay? So opposite sides are equal. So what is the answer for 7th? Adjacent angles are equal? False. Good. And now, a rhombus has all its angles equal. So what is a rhombus? Rhombus is a parallelogram. Rhombus is a parallelogram whose sides are all equal. But all the angles are equal. What do you say about angles? So angles are not equal. They are different. They are different. They are not equal. Understood, my dear students? Yes. Rhombus has all its angles equal. No. There is only a special rhombus where all angles can be equal. What is that special rhombus? It is called as square. Understood? Okay, now. A rectangle is a special type of parallelogram. Good, good, good. A rectangle is a special type of parallelogram. A rectangle is a special type of parallelogram. Yes, a rectangle is a special type of parallelogram. So now can anybody tell me what are the special types of parallelograms? I think it's taking time for the response. So anyway, I'm getting answers after nearly 30 seconds. I don't know why. Uh, or you're not typing the answers at the same time. But anyway, yes. What are the special types of parallelograms? Rectangle, special types of parallelogram. Let us go in order. Rhombus, rectangle, square. The diagonals of parallelograms always bisect each other. Yes, this is also true. All parallelograms, that means parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, and square, what happens? They bisect each other. Okay. So with this, we have completed section A and section B and the explanation part. Please listen to this and share it to all your friends so that they understand the concepts. Okay, so please share it and give me half an hour time. Inshallah, let us go for the next live stream for section C and section D at 10:30 exactly. 10:30. Okay. Meanwhile, you can go through other chapters also. And 10:30, let us go. Okay. Bye bye. Take care.